Hi guys, this is BiXX. Welcome to another Mentoring Monday. I'm going to continue with my Success Principles series by Jack Canfield. In the last Mentoring Monday episode, I talked about the importance of knowing why you're here. So once you've figured out your purpose, you have to decide what you want to do, what you want to be, and what you want to have. Yes, you need to decide this. Otherwise, if the universe decides, the results are usually not very good. So it's up to you to figure this out. You can achieve these actions when you have a vision. Today's topic is going to be about the power of having a vision. One of my favorite people that I listen to on YouTube is Jordan Peterson. He's a brilliant Canadian psychologist. He has a very strong opinion about having a vision, so I'm going to talk about his viewpoints. Knowing what you want to be and to have are all tied into having a vision. So here's what Jordan Peterson has to say about having a vision. There's nothing more practical than developing a vision. It's not some pie-in-the-sky exercise. Without a vision, you are chaotic, fragmented, often hopeless, and disappointed. Think about this. We've all been there at some point in our life. Did we have a vision when we were all over the place, seemingly with no direction? Probably not. Someone can stop you just by putting up a single obstacle. You'll easily quit. You know people that quit in sports when things get tough and they're not playing enough? Happens now in college football all the time. So do you know people around you who often quit when the journey gets tough? They probably have no vision. They're a house divided amongst themselves. They have no forward movement. They're not enthusiastic or passionate. Their life is a sequence of disappointments, frustrations, and tragedies. They're like a leaf blowing in the wind. And that's also is not what we're called to be. We're called to be a visionary constructor of the paradisal vision. What does that mean? In other words, a vision of something much better than what we have, sort of like a paradise. A visionary is who we are as humans. We already have everything to lose when we die. We're all in this game of life, whether we want to be that way or not. We're already betting everything we have on our life. So why not take the time to figure out your vision? I can tell you from experience that figuring out your vision is not always easy. I want to give you a few examples of my own life. And believe me, I struggled to figure these out from many mistakes. First one's a little bit funny. I dated a lot during my late teens to my mid-20s. I definitely had a lot of failed and fun relationships. But from these failed relationships, I eventually knew the kind of woman that I was looking for. This sounds a little specific, but dark hair, brown eyes, Italian background, a giving and compassionate person who has a warm and loving family, especially the father. From a past relationship, I experienced the closeness of an Italian family, which helped me form a vision of what I was looking for. It was a very specific vision. And guess what? While living in Atlanta, I met an Italian girl, American girl. She was visiting from Atlanta on business from New York. What are the chances that we were to meet each other? Very small, but it happened. And when it did, I knew right away, like after the first date, that I met my future and also my current wife. 35 years. After working in my chosen industry for about 9 years, the promotional products industry, marketing promotional products, I could see a service gap in the market. Our industry was run on the turnaround times from the supplier and not what the customer needed, not when the customer needed. It was a very simple concept that I had, but very disruptive. So for over 1 year, while I still have my current job, I worked on a business plan to start a new company with a service philosophy that would eventually revolutionize our industry. Writing this business plan helped me get laser focused and develop a very strong vision. The last example I'll give you is my music career. I took the time to write down a branding strategy for BiXX. I put in writing my vision for the style of music I wanted to create, the inspirational messages I wanted to communicate, and how I wanted to be perceived by fans. This perception lined up with my true self. All this helped me create my vision for BiXX. So here's what I learned. When you figure out your vision and you see it clearly, then you want to work hard. And also, the universe lines up to help you along the way. You figure things out and you meet the right people. You look for what you want and what you need. I met my wife at a time in my life when I was not such a good person. My company, after early struggles, grew very successfully and profitably. And my music career has been a lot of fun and has grown much faster than I would have expected. The success in these three examples that I've mentioned was no accident. It happened because in each situation, I had a strong vision. I listened to a podcast called How I Built This by Guy Raz. He interviews probably several hundred successful business founders from big companies. For example, Twitch, Airbnb, Five Guys, Instagram, Lululemon, to name a few. They all had the same things in common: hard work, lots of early struggles, and a very strong vision for their brand. Their vision was so strong that they never gave up. They didn't listen to the naysayers. They just focused on their vision. So I'll conclude this talk with a helpful exercise to help you find your vision. Write down 20 things you love to do. Well, it doesn't have to be exactly 20. Just do a brain dump and see what comes out of your brain. Work on this over a few weeks. Continue to add to this list as you remember what you love to do. Then think of things that you can make money doing some of these things. Maybe even create a side hustle. You'll probably notice one, two, maybe three of the items on your list you'll be much more passionate about. Get laser focused on what you seem to love the most. This clarity will happen. The greater the level of passion, the more clear your vision. And like I mentioned before, the universe just seems to line up once you get moving, as well as your own inner GPS system will guide you. But of course, you first need to create a plan. Don't sell yourself short on only coming up with a vision that seems possible or reasonable. Stretch yourself to something bigger and better. Depending on what you want to do, Google how to write a business plan. Also look up whiteboarding, which is very similar. You can keep failing on paper till you get better and develop clarity in your plan. Also, think about these areas of your life when coming up with your vision. Your financial area, your ideal job or career, your body and physical health, the relationship you have with your family and friends, and the personal development area of your life. Like what help or what education do you need to achieve this? And finally, what type of community do you want to live in? Big city, small city, medium city, country, urban? Those things are very important. So get a clear vision for each of these areas. Work on it. I promise you, it's worth it. So I'll see you again in 2 weeks. This is BiXX signing off. And remember, it's never too late to reinvent yourself and develop a clear vision in the important areas of your life. Cheers.